Well, appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited to
Thank you.
talk with you, man. I feel like we haven't talked like in person
Yeah.
in a long time. And I really wanted to chat with you because of you having your daughter, and she just turned 1.
Yeah. She's
So
13 and a half months right now.
that's awesome.
So
And you're welcome to share as much as you want.
yeah.
But or obviously don't share things. But I feel like we haven't really talked about this, but you're doing a lot of the the parenting. It looks like.
Yeah. At first, more so, and now it's more 50-50.
Okay.
But there was like couple months, just under a couple months, where I was that full-time
Yeah.
father,
Yeah.
just rough times and postpartum and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I step in whenever, like we don't have a rigid schedule.
Yeah.
So even if it's like 50-50, if there's hard days or
Yeah.
hard few days, like I'll step in.
Gotcha.
And vice versa. Her mom is really just growing right now, and
Sure. You
and
guys
she'll step
separated?
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We weren't together for long, and
Okay.
she made the decision,
Yeah.
to keep the baby, which was the biggest blessing
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
my
That's
life.
awesome.
Also a girl dad,
Yeah.
so it was just, now I love it.
It's a cool
So
club to be in.
yeah, definitely.
It's I always thought, yeah, as a guy, you're like, man, I want a boy.
Yeah,
I want to pass on my name, or just like you want to do boy things,
yeah,
you know. But I don't know. When I found out I was having a girl, I got so excited, and I was like, this is just gonna be like I'm sure every relationship, parent and kid, whether it's a daughter or a son, like there's a very special relationship there.
yeah.
I just feel like I could be biased, but I just feel like there's something different about
Uh, I, c-
having a girl.
I guess I couldn't tell because I don't have a boy,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just that relationship that me and my daughter have, and even just her and her mom have, is so different.
yeah,
And just like it's a beautiful thing. Like the other day, I go to drop her off, and she grabs onto me like a monkey.
yeah.
And then like
Oh
I
yeah,
try to put her down, and she just falls down and starts crying.
yeah,
And it was kind of like you don't want to see your daughter cry, but it was a moment where even her mom's like, "Oh, if you ever doubt yourself as a father, that just shows you
yeah,
how good of a father,
yeah,
you really are,
yeah.
that she doesn't want you to leave and stuff." But I also wanted a boy, or like I wanted a boy.
Yeah.
So when I did find out that it was a girl, I was shocked. But now I'm just like, she's gonna do everything.
Yeah.
I do like shoot guns, dirt bikes, ride razors, snowboarding. So
Yeah, that's
now
cool.
I'm in love with having
Yeah.
a baby girl.
Yeah, it really is awesome. And again, I'm biased for sure, but I just feel like it's
Yeah.
just special, man. Did you find out before having her, or was it like a surprise at birth?
No, before having her, man,
Yeah.
I'm not good at surprises. Like I've had enough surprises and stuff laid on me on my life. Like
Yeah.
just tell me.
Yeah.
I don't want to find out later. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
gotcha. So I would love to know, like, where did you start? You didn't start in real estate. We met
No.
in real estate. But you had a software company, or
Yeah,
walk me
yeah. I've
through
done
what
I've
you
done a lot. So how far back do you want me to go? Like
whatever you want to share, man.
okay.
Let's learn how you got to this place of now real estate, and kind of
Yeah, yeah.
leveraging your relationships and network that you have. And
Yeah. It's really just God. Like everything leads to something else. When I was 18, I did HVAC and electric work, certified electrician and HVAC specialist. My mom was just like, "Hey, I'll leave you alone if you get a trade," basically, because I wasn't living the best life back then.
okay,
So I was like, "All right, cool." But everything leads to something else,
sure,
and that led to, back then they were just like legalizing medical marijuana. So that led to me doing like HVAC and electrical work on grows. And then from there, I became close with one of the owners. And then he offered me a partnership years later on a
wow,
dispensary, just from seeing my work ethic and stuff like that. And truthfully, he asked me, he's like, "Oh, do you know how to grow this and that?" After I set up that HVAC and electric at the grow. And I was like 18, 19. And I was like, "Yeah," like, but I didn't.
sure,
So I was just like
fake it till you make it.
like ambitious.
Uh,
So I went on like all the forums and like read up everything for weeks. And then I just killed it. So after that, we like partnered up years later on a dispensary,
that's
got
awesome.
the licensing, made a lot of money, learned a lot. So kind of just always been a mover and shaker and a hustler.
Yeah,
And then from there, down the line, like I've always collected shoes since seventh grade,
Okay.
right? I have probably have 160 personal pairs and
What shoes? Like Nikes?
mhm, Nikes, Jordans, all like the sneakerhead collectible stuff.
Yeah.
And then from there, I opened up a shoe store in 2018.
Okay.
So I was in real estate at that time because I was flipping a house and I was building a new house.
Okay.
Got out of that, dumped all my money from real estate into my shoe store because
Okay.
it really took off 2020.
Wow.
And
COVID.
right after COVID, yeah,
Yeah.
coming out of COVID, and it took off like millions of dollars of revenue that
Really?
year. Like we did 4.4, and that was just on the books without side, you know,
That was just shoes. Like
shoes and
the
clothes,
shoes, but okay.
shoes and clothes. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that took off, and then sold the house I built in 2020 August, dumped the 300 into more inventory, and then everything leads to something else. Got out of the shoe industry in 2021 right before it crashed, and then did a couple other things, a trucking interstate trucking company, which I lost my ass on and lost a lot of money, but learned a lot
Sure.
about myself and just processes and business. And then from there opened up the tech company with
Okay.
some other guys, which
Okay.
I'm okay with computers,
Sure.
but I'm the least like tech savvy developer of
Yeah.
the team.
Okay.
I was like the stupid one on the team,
Sure.
but I was
You had a
very good.
concept, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I was the lowest on the totem pole, but which was a high totem pole because they're all like geniuses when it
Yeah.
came to AI and blockchain.
Yeah.
So we combined AI and blockchain and started this business where we're providing compute power to an ecosystem. And then recently, last few months, sold out of that
Wow.
and
That's
exited
awesome.
that. Yeah,
All right. So I
I know.
kind
It's
of
a
want to
lot,
unpack
bro.
some of this stuff.
Ask anything. Go ahead.
The dispensary,
Hmm.
like how did you get out of that or
I did it
like
for a long time, up
okay.
until my late 20s.
Okay.
Um, I lived in Arizona.
Okay, so that wasn't here.
No, no, it's
Obviously.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, okay.
So in Oregon, California, and
Okay,
Arizona.
got it.
So I had a house in Oregon and kind of just bounced around. And then when I was 27, I met someone from Tampa and I got married.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of got out of it because she's like, oh, like, like, and at that time I've been through so much in my life, just ups and downs,
Yeah.
that I was ready for a change,
Good. Yeah.
like I wanted to, do something different.
Sure.
So I kind of sold everything, moved out here, and just backed off of that business.
Got it.
And then that's when I started the shoe store the next year because
Interesting.
I always need something to do.
Sure.
So, and that's my passion
Yeah.
and fashion and all that. So,
Okay. Passion of
but yeah,
passion for
the
fashion.
dispensaries and grows, I love it. A believer in
Yeah.
it. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
All right, so then you got into the shoe business and did you sell that? Like what was it?
No, unfortunately, I didn't.
Okay.
It was a really like punch to the gut. I built up a multi-million-dollar shoe industry business, proved the concept, and then another shoe store from out of state came in.
Okay.
And the mall, I go to renew my lease, and the mall leases are a little different international.
Okay.
So they don't give you, it's like if you go to a normal plaza, they'll be like, oh, you want to lock in a 3 to 5 year or 10 year? Sure. Like we'll lock you in. They have to test you out because you're right next to Louis Vuitton and
Got it.
Gucci. So they have to see your numbers plus you're paying a percentage break point,
Yeah.
which is like a percentage on all the money you bring in.
Got it.
So I go to re-sign my lease and they're like, oh, another shoe store is going to come in and take your place. And I built out, like, I signed that lease, a really nice, like low priced lease during COVID. So I didn't know they're going to open. I dumped 44,000 just into the build out of that
Wow.
store.
Yeah.
So I took the risk and then they're telling me, oh, someone else is going to come and take your spot. So I find out who it is, and it's this guy from Connecticut. His dad owns, is partners with, or friends with Mr. Tauber and Simon Mall Group,
Okay.
and his best friend has a hedge fund, so gave him 15 million to open up 16 stores. So then I go to him and I'm like, hey, I have 7 employees. I built this from the ground up. This means something to me. He didn't care about shoes. He was a used car salesman that scammed his way through, like has all lawsuits against him and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And he's like, oh, he offered me a job. He's like, run the store. I'll give you 20,000 a month to be the manager. And I said no. and so they took the store from me.
Got it.
1 week before I had to move out, the store got robbed for just under a quarter million. And these are some of my prized possessions, like
Oh
stuff
my,
you can never get back.
jeez.
Yeah, so it was like gut punch after gut punch. So my energy got pulled out of me
Yeah.
from there. So I didn't sell the store. Um, and it got taken from me. Funny thing is, 2 weeks ago though, the guy that opened up all those stores, he filed for
Bankruptcy.
bankruptcy and he like ran off with like people's money, the investors' money. So
Jeez.
yeah, which I saw because it wasn't a viable
Sure. Yeah.
business model. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
The numbers he was doing and saying he was doing.
Sure.
So
Yeah. I feel like that was a good time. You obviously you did that. You said 2020, 2021, right?
yeah, from
Yeah.
2018, and then the new store,
That's right.
because I had the first store, and then the new store, International Mall,
Yeah.
2020 to end of 2021, right before the end of it.
Yeah.
So it was a great time, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Money was flowing, but for me, I loved it. Like I met a lot of great people, met Bucks players.
That's cool.
A lot of the Bucks players came in. Actually, we were selling Frenchies at the time,
Okay.
but like high value Frenchies, like $50,000, $200,000 dogs.
Okay.
And Gronk actually bought a Frenchie
Oh wow.
from us. Yeah. My good friend, he was my partner on some of them. Jadon Mickens came in. He used to play for the Bucks, and he's like FaceTime Gronk when he was at the store, and then Gronk brought his Frenchie from us. Yeah. So
You were selling them in the store?
no,
Or okay.
just on the side,
I
but
got
you know, yeah.
Okay. Man, I didn't
So
know.
we're a hustler, man. We're gonna sell anything
Yeah,
that makes
sounds like it.
sense.
I didn't know you could buy a Frenchie that for that much money.
The ones that were worth 50 to 200,000, we can't sell them for $1,000 now. My friend,
Really?
yeah, we have 15 Frenchies left.
Jeez, where are
Yeah.
they?
Between
You got a farm?
Arizona, California, Colorado, just split up at friends' houses.
Wow.
Yeah. If you
Interesting.
want to take one home, let me
Nah,
know.
I'm good. Let's cut that out so my wife don't hear it. Man, all right. There's a That's all pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
So what like led you to the tech
Um,
business?
like I said, God, everything like leads to something else in my life, even when it's like the worst of times.
Yeah.
So I met someone through the shoe store, and he was a developer, and he was on the founding team of that tech company.
Okay.
We launched an NFT, or I hired him to launch an NFT with somebody, and that person burnt the people. So I paid out of pocket, paid all the developers myself, and paid everyone back that bought the NFT because I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do.
Sure.
So in his eyes, he's like, damn, you didn't have to do that. But why'd you do that? I was like, because it's just, it's not the
Yeah.
right thing to leave people that don't have a lot of money,
Yeah.
and just like you did your work.
Yeah.
So he saw my character, and he saw me build up the shoe store. And so he brought me into the tech company on the
Gotcha.
basis of like connections I have,
Yeah.
business, sales, but also just character.
Yeah.
So everything leads to something else. And
Yeah.
I got brought in from someone I met through the shoe store and all that.
That's very cool.
So
Yeah, it sounds like you I mean I've picked up on this, but just from the stories, like you seem like a man of integrity, which is
yeah,
as you get to know me, that's really big. It's
yeah,
one of our any business that I'm a part of, that's a core value.
100%.
Yeah. Um
That's definitely one of the biggest things,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
that if you lose integrity or character, you lose everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um so you mentioned that you've gone through some stuff. Is there anything that like has from your childhood that has like shaped the way that you think of how you're gonna raise your daughter?
100%. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. My whole life. My whole life, it's hard just to pinpoint, I'd say one thing,
Yeah.
but definitely I've seen a lot growing up, and I've lived a lot of lives growing up. So for me, I definitely want to embed that core family principles like integrity and character and just
Yeah.
leadership. So she's not caught up in everything that's in the matrix, I would say, like the
Sure.
outside,
Yeah.
world. And for me, like I want to incorporate traveling a lot, and just like I feel like to touch, like I run a nonprofit. I'm the CEO of the Peyton Barber Foundation.
Okay.
He used to be the running back for the Bucks, and just like our main initiative, I'll kind of pull everything together, but our main initiative, we give back sneakers and clothes to underprivileged kids.
Okay.
Usually like tier zero, like lower schools. And we kind of try to talk to them and encourage them to away from negative paths like gangs, drugs, and stuff
Mhm.
like that, which I've seen some of growing up, and same with Peyton from where he's from.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of when I'm talking to the kids, I see a lot of kids get stuck in a bubble, right, of their neighborhood, and that's all they see.
Yeah.
What's right in front of you, and they don't know there's a whole outside world and resources and stuff like that. So what we try to deliver to the kids and what I'm gonna deliver to my daughter, like I said, I want to show her the world and just show her not get stuck in just the city,
Yeah.
is really step out, like move. If that's college, if that's a job, however you have to get out of that neighborhood or your city, you could always come back. The same people are going to be doing the same stuff. You
Yeah.
know, some of them will be gone, some of them will do good, some of them will be in prison or, you know, or
Yeah.
make their way out, but or dead. But you can always come back.
Yeah.
Stepping outside and learning who you are and really seeing that and just letting go of that ego.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. So I think me just showing her the world is going to be huge, and just showing her it's not just where you live,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think that that's huge. And I think of like, I grew up in a small town, and when I go back and visit, if I ever do, and at this point, like I have very little reason to even go back anymore. But when I would go back and visit, and the people who are there, who were there when I was growing up, are
Mm,
still there, and I know what I know now of like experiencing a new city and getting out of there, there's just so much out there. And if you stay in that bubble, like your mind gets molded a certain way, you look at things a certain way, and it's like you really need to get out there and experience a different life to like
yep.
just have a good understanding of like what life could be. I think that that's, really important. So I always encourage anytime I'm talking to like a younger kid who's,
Yeah.
looking at college or whatever, I'm always like, move, and
That's the
that's
number
my
one
advice.
advice.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I always say, like, you can move back, like, just experience something like scary,
Yeah.
and get out of your comfort zone for a little bit. And I guarantee you'll look back and you'll be really, happy that you did it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I think that that's awesome. Do you have any like places? I know you're going snowboarding with her soon, it looks
Mm,
like, but any trips that are, I know she's young,
mm.
so there's, little,
Oh,
you
I
can't
have all, you know, I'm a girl that have all the trips planned.
What are you most
Um,
excited about right now? You got coming?
So I'm taking her on her first snowboarding trip. She'll be 14 months, 14 and a half months old
That's sweet.
next month, and it'll be for the holidays.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be a white Christmas, and just her see snow for the first time. And just snowboarding's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
I usually go a few times throughout the season.
That's cool.
And then the next trip is going to be Europe for the summer, and just take her around and just go get
Really?
different like apartments and Airbnbs,
Wow.
2026. And then later in the year, October, December, it'll be South Africa, because that's where I was born and I have family
Oh,
out there
really?
still. Yeah. So I'm going to go take her to see the family and just, you know,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
take
very
her,
cool.
do the safari, and like learn firsthand,
Yeah.
right? You're like, what do you want to kind of, how do you want to teach her? Like from my past, like I don't want her to read a book.
Yeah.
Like I'll show her to her, like, oh, what's a lion? What sound does the lion make? Oh, look, there's a lion on the safari. You know, so I'm gonna take her
There's a real
first,
line.
firsthand, even though at the time she'll be just over 2.
Yeah.
I think it'll be experiences that we can never, in time, we can never get back together. So I think it's beautiful
Yeah.
to be able to be blessed that we can do that and be in the opportunity to leave and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that's sick.
yeah, I'm excited.
So you were born in South Africa. When did
Mm.
you come over here?
So I was like probably around 5 or 6. I moved to Israel, and then I moved
Oh, wow.
to Phoenix,
Okay.
Arizona with my mom.
Why Israel? Why Phoenix?
Family in both spots.
Okay.
And then my mom, I think she got a job or a nursing job and college. So we moved. And then I think around like 2001, when I was 13, we got our citizenship.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Um, it's all very different.
Mhm.
Um, So, did you just travel to the States with your mom?
Yeah. And then my dad and my sister, I recently met them 11 years ago. Like cuz when we were young, uh
You didn't know
they
them
kind
growing
of
up?
split. I think like I did, but I don't really remember.
Sure.
Um and then when I was 24, I went back and I reached out and I met him for the first time, or at
Wow.
least that I remember and stuff. So
Yeah,
that was a cool experience.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
What's that look like now? Do you guys talk or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like I've been through so much by the time I'm 24, so it's
sure.
not really like a father son,
Yeah,
full on relationship. The
sure.
love
Yeah,
is there,
yeah.
and there's also a language barrier a little bit
Okay,
too. So, um yeah, it's not fully deep conversations, but the love is there.
that's
And
cool.
just for me, it's important that I know where I come from.
Yeah,
So it's cool.
yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad you were able to connect.
But now it's cool because like one thing, like bring it full circle, my whole family, my mom, my dad, my sister, everyone is very close now.
That's
So I
awesome.
kind of brought everyone back together, which was a full circle moment back
Yeah,
in 2019 when I
that's
was
awesome.
able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I'm glad that thinking about like having a daughter, like being able, you were able to bring the family together. So like that's gonna be, her life's gonna be better, of course,
Yeah,
by being able
it's
to
important for
rely
sure.
on them. And um like I see the relationship that my daughter has with like her grandparents, and I'm like, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't know. My grandparents on my mom's side were passed away by the time I was born. And I think I had one grandma. Um, Out of the four grandparents, I had one grandma who was alive, and there wasn't really much of a relationship. And I see like what my daughter has, and I'm like, not that I feel like I'm missed out, because like I love where my life is
Yeah.
at. So like I don't feel like, my life was definitely wasn't perfect growing up. And but I still don't ever feel like I really missed out on things, because I really enjoy where I'm at right now. So
Mhm.
I just try to, that's my framework, that's how I try to look at it. But I love what she has. So I feel
Yeah.
like,
It's
if she
beautiful
can
to
have
see
it,
that.
then
Yeah.
I think it's really important. So that's great for your daughter. Um, so let's kind of go, back to,
Yeah, I hit you
uh,
with a lot, man. You
no,
take it where you
no,
want to
you're
go.
good. But just like going back to like, yeah, she's just over a year.
Hmm.
You've had to do a lot being, for a little while. You were taking it sounds like a lot of, the
Hmm.
parenting. So how did you like balance that with everything you got going on? And you've got your flips, you got, foundation that
Yeah.
you're a part of. Sounds like you got a lot going on. So like, how did you do all that? How'd you
It's
be a dad?
it's hard just day by day, minute by minute, and I've been through hard stuff though, so I know even through the off days and the bad days, that kind of just throw you off. There's a new day, and
Yeah,
it's just part of the journey. So I just take everything with grace and just keep rolling. But like also I have no options,
yeah,
for me.
got to figure it out.
Yeah, so like I have no other family here in Tampa, so I have to do it, but I think I rely back on my practices I've learned, especially the last few years. I've fallen into the Nordic sauna practice. So I do the sauna for 15 minutes, an ice bath, and I run it back 3 times over the
Okay,
hour. I work on breath work. I started therapy the last couple years. And then my therapist is great. But she's taught me so many different practices and really just getting back to myself and like resetting my nervous system, you could say,
sure.
where even during those hard times where it's just like, man, like I feel I'm here. I didn't like, sign off on everything and say like, hey, this is what I want, but like I embraced it and I love it now. And you know, like I just show up,
Sure.
day
Yeah.
by day. And just I think giving up the control too, because I think the first maybe 6 months, 10 months, I was so involved and I still am. And it was like I lost my identity,
Got it.
right? Like, who am I as a dad? And just like this new role and stuff like that. So I just kind of gave up control. Like, this is what I'm doing now. I'm
Yeah.
pouring into myself, I'm pouring in my daughter, my business, and everything else. The other pieces will line up later
Gotcha.
on.
When you say you gave up control, like, what do you mean by that? Who did you
Maybe,
give it to? What do you mean?
maybe just give up control of just like wanting more, right?
Got it.
Like wanting a girlfriend, wanting some type of companionship at that time. But I'm so busy taking care of my daughter, kind of showing up, for her mother too, and just like trying to like empower them to just keep growing,
Yeah.
and then my own businesses while still like mentally checking in with myself.
Sure.
I just had to be okay with, all right, cool, this is all I'm doing right now,
Got it.
and this is what I'm important to,
Got it.
and
So
this is what's important.
it sounds like instead of like focusing on maybe what's missing, you were just embracing what you had,
Yeah,
serving the people around you.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Um, okay. So from like a practical standpoint, if we have some dads listening who may be going through some rough shit, maybe they're in
Mhm.
the same shoes. You mentioned the Nordic sauna practice, breath work, your therapist. I'm curious about this Nordic sauna
Oh,
practice.
we'll have to get you in there.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But when are you doing that? Like, if you're
Um,
running that 3 times, it sounds like you're doing it for like an hour or so. Like,
yeah,
when is that being done? And are you like setting your day up by doing that, or how does it all look?
I'll get it in now after having my daughter. I'll get it in whenever I can.
Sure,
That could be at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. They have classes throughout the day.
got it. So you're going somewhere for it.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
Kodawari
Is that where
Studios.
James goes?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
that's actually where I met James.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I met him. And or I'll go at 7 p.m. at night, 6 p.m.
Got it.
I used to try to go like 4 or 5 times a week. But now if I can make it 3 times a week, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But anytime I can get it in, it's changed my life.
What do you feel like it does for you? Like, is it like setting your?
It's
I know you
almost
said resetting your like your
yeah.
nervous system, but like, do you find you're like more patient, or like
Hmm.
what are you actually feeling after
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get out of that?
So there's a lot, and it's almost like a natural high, I would
Okay.
say. You're coming you're in an intense situation, right?
Yeah.
You're in the sauna. So your mind is in a flight mode, right? When it's at 200 degrees and it's like, "Oh, get out of here, get out of here." At the same time, it's a lead session, so they're talking. So
Okay.
you might be talking about what's going on in your life, talking about what you're grateful for. You might be working on breath
Oh,
work.
really?
So you're teaching your mind in that moment to, hey, it's okay. I can calm my nervous system and my mind down. In the cold naturally makes you feel like tense, like stress,
Yeah.
right? So if you could teach yourself to release your breath and kind of elongate that breath, you can teach yourself how to calm down your nervous system. So if we're doing that in intense conditions like heat and cold, I'm driving home, someone cuts me off, it's not bothering me.
Sure.
I'm having an argument, with a girlfriend or somebody or business. It's not bothering me. My mind is slower, and I'm looking at stuff a lot differently.
Yeah.
And I can remind myself, like, hey, it's okay. Like this is like okay, I'm aware of it. I could reset my nervous system and myself, and just yeah, change my mindset in that time.
Yeah.
Beyond the mental, physical aspects, it's a you burn 400 calories, so it's a non-strenuous workout
Interesting.
over the 1 hour. And there was a 20-year study done in Finland that, like, I'll butcher these numbers, but give or take,
Sure.
if you do just sauna for, I think, like a few times, couple times, I think it was like 3 or 4 times a week, you have a 50% chance less of dying from cardiovascular diseases, something
Sure.
like that,
Sure.
something with your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you, as a men, we have a 60% less chance of getting dementia and Alzheimer's.
Interesting.
Yeah, so health benefits through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you see people like Joe Rogan and Wim Hof and
Yeah. Lots
all
of
these
people.
guys swear by it,
Yeah.
right? You see, I met James in there. I've met elite operators
Yeah.
in the sauna, and so it does something.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I would love to have you out.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to come
Yeah,
check it
yeah,
out.
for sure.
Um, so I work out pretty often. And I notice, so like what I try to do is set up my day as best as I can. I'm trying to get my workouts in early. And there's multiple reasons for that. One, it's like the easiest thing for me to, like, when shit hits the fan or other things are,
Mhm.
important, it's the easiest thing to, like, say, okay, I'll do this tomorrow. But then the second thing is I show up so much better after I work out. So as you were explaining that, I'm like, I know what that feeling feels like after I go for a run or I just get a really
Yeah.
good workout in. Like the day could end right there and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
happy, you know? So like I definitely feel I definitely feel that like shift in the mental state. And I would love to, yeah, I would definitely love to come out and check that out. I didn't
Yep.
realize that you're like talking through things and like trying to actually do some things as you're going
Yeah.
through that change in body state, the temperature state.
And at
Uh,
first, it's kind of like goofy, like
yeah, I'm
I
sure
used
it
to
is.
make fun of these people. Like
Yeah.
I lived in Oregon and there's a lot of hippies there. So I'd
Uh,
go to like the hot springs, they would be doing breath work, and I'd be like laughing, like, oh, what is this guy
sure.
doing,
Yeah.
And then they did this there. And I went there for a physical injury originally because I
Okay.
fell off a rail snowboarding
Okay.
and hurt my elbow.
Yeah.
So I just
Too old to
I
be in the
just
rails.
yeah, man. So it was like I went there and then I fell in love with this place. And
Yeah.
now I'm that goofy guy doing the breath work, like humming and like oming and stuff.
Oh,
So
really? Man, we're
um
getting really into
yeah, so
it.
we're all full into it and I swear by it. So
That's cool. Yeah,
any
I'll have to come
practice,
out.
it don't have to be that, but just find,
Yeah.
back to, the dads that are going through hard times and all that. Find what works for you. It could
Yeah.
be working out, it
Yeah.
could be on walks, whatever makes sense and speaks to your soul and body. That's what I would,
Yeah.
embody and go after.
Yeah. There has to be some kind of release. And there has to be just something that like men tend to hold everything in because they feel like they can't, if they let anything out, they're
Mhm.
soft, they're not acting like a
That's
man.
what society in the Matrix tells us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, and I mean, men need the right outlet. They
Mhm.
need to be able to, release those, if it's resetting the nervous system, or just like being able to talk things out loud. That's why I feel like having a community is like really important for a man. Like you got to be able to talk things to, you just got to be able to get things out without it being like you burdening someone else.
Mhm.
Um,
Or no judgment.
yeah, yeah, and that's a thing too. So, like I've tried to surround myself with people who they have like they're rooted in faith because I feel like you get more support, and you get people who are like if they're truly wanting to see you like become a better human.
Yep.
Doesn't always have to be people rooted in faith and surrounded by you've mentioned God a few times, so I feel like this will resonate with
For
you, but
sure.
but yeah, there just has to be people that you can confide in who really want to see you succeed. Otherwise, like for me going home, like if I don't have an ability to like kind of get that stuff out, then who's gonna get it? It's gonna
Yep.
be my family, and I don't want that. So there was a lot on you for a little while. So like what challenges do you still find, even though that you're splitting, sounds like you're sharing some more time, like
Yeah.
what challenges are you facing right now?
Mm. I can mitigate all the challenges through work and the stuff that comes up
Yeah.
because I've been through so much heavy stuff and just stuff that would break a lot of people. So all of that is okay. It's really in the home life of the 50-50 co-parenting.
Yeah.
Um, there's like multiple challenges there. Just growth, like we're putting in work and well, first of all, like what society tells us, like what co-parenting should look like, and there's no playbook,
No.
right? But they try to mold it like, okay, this is what has to be. No, drop the kid off at the door, you know,
Yeah.
this and that. For me, I'm trying to pour into my daughter and just plant seeds and show her, hey, that's not what it has to be, and show her like what um a two-way relationship could be like with
Yeah.
people that aren't together. So I'm having to break those. I can see it, but for my daughter's mom, I have
Yeah.
to kind of break what society has molded that to look like, or the I call it the matrix,
Yeah.
the outside world, social media,
Sure. Yeah.
like anything like what that looks like. And that's one of the biggest challenges is just like re lining up like what what we want that life to look like,
Yeah.
and I can see it, but it's not an overnight like process.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So putting in that work, it's continuous growth with her mom and with me. So, but I do see the steps in the right direction.
Got
So
it.
it is beautiful, but there's days where it's just like, oh, we take a couple steps back, and it just it hurts,
Yeah.
you know. It hurts when I look at my daughter. It hurts just me inside, but I'm the one leading us, so I have to, you know, find those healthy releases
Yeah.
and just keep pushing forward and just knowing like, hey, I see the growth. So there
Yeah.
is we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest, that's probably consistently the biggest challenge for me, is just, you know, because it could be so easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of work, but for me, it's so easy and I see it all.
Yeah.
But for her to, you know, really just like, you know,
Yeah.
tackle the self acknowledgement and traumas and all that stuff, and me too.
I can see it being a lot of work, obviously for both sides, and it sounds like you're putting a lot of like you're putting a lot of work into yourself, your mindset and all that. And I don't know what she's doing, but it doesn't. It's not always equivalent. Like there isn't the equal work, the equal self work that being put in. So I can understand like that's probably hard to like try to encourage without like being a dictator, especially with someone who you're not even
Yeah.
with. Like you can only push so much until there's like pushback and resentment and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I
Are you?
won't, sorry, cause you,
No, you're
like,
good.
I won't even push.
Yeah,
Like, I kind of know who she is, so I let her learn by herself. But just knowing like where we kind of need to be for in the right environment for her to, you know, learn and stuff. But
yeah,
she's putting in a lot of work from her past and like where she's came from. And for me, like, I've been through so much, so I feel like it's easy for me to like have that, you know, self acknowledgement and just where I'm at and who I am because of all the stuff I've been through
yeah.
and the hardships.
You mentioned earlier that you had gotten married, and
Yes.
not. I'm assuming not to her.
No.
Um, so did you learn anything going through that like you've like I got my wife was
Okay.
previously married. Um, so I'm her second husband,
Hopefully the last.
and yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
de- definitely the last. Um, as long as we continue to work on our relationship, of course. But
Definitely the last.
I can tell that there are things that she learned. So like I get a different version. I get what I would say probably the more
Yeah.
patient, the more understanding,
Hmm.
the more like just kind of willing to realize that like, hey, I'm a person, and so I'm sure that there's things that you've learned, going through that of like what does not, make a
Hmm.
relationship work. So do you feel like that's helping you get through this?
100%. Every relationship that with my ex-wife, with the relationship before my daughter's mom, I was with her for not my daughter's mom, but my ex-girlfriend for 4 years, right before
Hmm.
we had the baby, a little after. But every relationship I take something from,
Yeah.
of how I'm talking and just the dynamics of the, you know, relationships, but also I learn something about myself, which helps me show up
Yeah.
for that other person. So every time I'm leveling up,
Yeah.
even if there's parts of relationships or breakups I hurt, I'm taking something from it,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing because I'm seeing it,
Yeah.
and I'm just like learning more and more about myself along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's like, it's unfortunate when you go in and out of relationships, but it's just like anything, like you're getting refined as a human.
Mm.
Um, kind of like you're getting sculpted,
Yeah.
I think of like a block of um like a block of granite, or like my mind goes to like a physical sculpture, whatever the hell you make sculptures
Yeah.
out of, and like you're just kind of chipping off like the things that don't belong.
Yep.
Um, so like the more and more that you're learning, the more refined and sculpted as a
You have to
human.
go through those relationships and those lessons in lives and the ups and downs to, you know, get to who you are and learn,
Yeah,
you know, who you want to be and how to show up
yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
How does God play into your life?
And God, every aspect, every facet of my life, it's just like whether I fully take it in or not sometimes,
Sure.
he's always just showing me like I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm here. And every like I've had some very, very dark spots in my life and places where I never thought I'd come back from. And he just pulls me through and opens up new doors and through the bad times and good times, you know. um, I'm blessed, and that's why I try to give back,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
with abundance and just being a good person. And like you said, having strong integrity and character.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like life is beautiful, so everyone should see that and we should give back.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, the nonprofit, because what I've been through growing up and just all that, like, no one should have to go through that without knowing what they have.
Sure.
So, God's a huge part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like practice your faith? I guess like
Mhm.
outside of like that nonprofit, like what is making sure that you're instilling God into your life and then, your daughter's life look
Yeah.
like?
Um, Honestly, just every day, my actions, I'm not gonna be the guy that you're gonna see at church or, you know, or like I grew up Jewish, but I believe in God and all that. But like I won't be, I'll sometimes I go to Radiant and like it or the men's group at Radiant
Cool.
and I like the people there.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be the guy that you'll see every Sunday at church.
Sure.
I'm actively just firsthand, like kind of living his word and doing what he would want.
Yeah.
Like if people see or don't see, right? Like I'll be doing those deeds and kind of living, you know, like through me
Yeah.
and what he would want done.
Yeah.
So that is how I kind of worship, but I also pray and talk to him throughout the day. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I don't feel like I have to go and fully worship as long as I'm doing what he would want done
Sure.
firsthand.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to do their own thing. I personally, we go to church as much as we can, and it's more of like I think for at least for me, it helps me not get too far, you
Hmm.
know, away from it, so I have to kind of use that as like it's like a grounding tool.
Yeah, I should probably go more
Yeah.
like I did, and I love it, and I love the people I meet there and the conversations I
Radiant's
had.
great,
Yeah, I love Radiant. I would go to the South Tampa
which
location.
is crazy.
Yeah, so many people go there, and it's cool to see the young people.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is.
it's like really blowing up. So just this last year, I feel like my routines and everything has changed
Yeah,
since having my daughter. So eventually, I'll kind of make my way back and do that. But every day, I'm giving back and just firsthand, like boots on the ground kind of soldier.
that's cool. You've been out doing a lot of like walking and stuff with her, huh? You get a
Hmm.
lot of exercise. Are you with her every day or?
No, I have her well Wednesday and then the weekends and then
Okay.
sometimes in between here
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to like recently, like for the first year she was born, I was eating like crap, eating a lot of ice cream, just like dealing with a lot,
Sure.
and that's how I was dealing with stress other than the sauna and other stuff.
Yeah.
So recently I did a 4-day fast and then now I'm just back to walking.
Okay.
I'm back to cooking. I'm trying to do like 10 to 14,000 steps minimum
Nice.
and I'm cooking, grilling. I love cooking. So whole foods, a lot of steak, a lot of meat, fish.
Nice.
So but yeah, I'm outside every day. You'll
Yeah.
probably see me through Hyde Park or that area with her on my back and
That's cool.
with a little backpack.
Yeah.
And we go hiking. I took her out to Phoenix in the
Oh, you
backpack.
did?
Took her to Sedona and
That's
Puerto
cool.
Rico so far.
Is
So
your mom still out in
yeah,
Arizona?
yeah. She's in Arizona.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
So,
We have our first like big trip. We go to Michigan every year and we've traveled a little bit with her, but we've got Switzerland planned for
oh,
next
that'd be
December.
amazing.
And we're pumped.
That's a dream trip of mine. Going through the mountains, the Alps, and Swiss Alps, and on the train and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's definitely going to be a part of my Europe trip there.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It
Yeah.
looks surreal, just the scenery and
Yeah. We're gonna
everything
go
there.
mid-December, so get like the Christmas
That's cool.
markets and like the snow, hopefully, and
That's
all that.
awesome.
It'll be really cool. Um, what are you working on now? I know you're working with
Um,
Raphael a lot,
yeah,
and like you guys
yeah.
just flipping. Is that the main focus?
Yeah,
Or
right now flips. Me and Raphael have 4 flips, two of ourselves, and then two we partnered up with 50/50 with John Kramer.
okay,
And then two are listed, two we're working on, and then also two builds that I'm working on. I partnered up with Michael Motarp from the group.
cool.
We bought Fig Street from James. We're doing 4 townhouses there,
Wow.
and then we bought another house we're gonna knock down in a year and do 4 townhouses there.
Is
So
that the is that like the path you're going down, the development path, or
development and flips, I'll kind of just see where the market's going
sure?
and be fluid in those movements
Yeah,
and just go with it. But I definitely see development, being uh like leading
yeah,
a good portion of the way.
yeah. What is bringing you into development? Is there like I like the idea of development because you're building something, you know. Um, but other people are just look at it as like, hey, this is a more potentially less risky investment or something like
Mm,
that. Like, is there something inside you that's pulling you towards that? Like without you answering that and you kind of
mm,
explaining who you are, like I can tell like you like to create or you like to be
yeah,
doing, something that like you it sounds like you like to stand things up from the ground,
yeah.
metaphorically, but now
Mm.
literally. So
What draws me to development is, man, I just want to hold the gold shovel and break the ground for the first time for the pictures.
got it.
No, I'm just kidding. Nah, you hit it on the head. I like creating and building
Yeah.
and just from A to Z. So it's fun and just being able to control that process and learn. Like I throw myself in processes where I can learn and I push myself and I'm like out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, what excites me about development. From A to Z, we get to sit down with a civil and architect and just really formulate what that's going to look like and why it's that way while learning that process and designing everything.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And and I wasn't kidding about the gold shovel. I actually got my daughter a hard hat that says boss on it
That's
and a
fun.
little gold shovel.
Oh my
So when
gosh.
we break ground at Fig Street, I'm gonna take pictures of her breaking ground,
That's
and
funny.
then like 10 months later, she'll be at the end of it,
That's cool.
which we should be breaking ground in April, give or take, or
Okay, cool.
March. So yeah, I think it'll be a cool experience for me and her
That's fun.
to do that. So I was joking, but I really for her, like
She's got the gold shovel.
I have the gold shovel for her
That's
and
so funny.
the hard hat.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
like so there's like different things that I just like I am so excited to do with my daughter. And it's just really fun to like plan out and just kind
Yeah.
of see all those things and that's very cool. I'm a little jealous of the gold shovel. I'm gonna have to find my own like gold shovel kind of story or plan.
100%. And that's like one thing I'll touch on. Like a lot of people, when they have kids, they'll use an excuse. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah,
There'll be days where I'm not planning to have her, or I do have her and something comes up at the job site. And like Felix is probably seen on Instagram, like I'll pull up to the job sites with her, like as long as there's not crazy dust or like
yeah,
anything hazardous, and I'll bring her with me, whether it's on my back in the stroller, and I'm not letting anything stop that. I'll take her to Home Depot.
yeah,
She does everything with me. And then as she gets older, she'll see those interactions,
yeah,
whether it's between me and the workers or like me and anyone in life. I think that's invaluable for her to see, just like that's very valuable for her to see, just
yeah,
how I interact with people and
yeah,
like with character and stuff like that, even when some people lack that. So I think it's super cool. And I don't use like, oh, I have a daughter. Hey, I have her today. I can't handle business. I get everything done with her.
yeah. I think I appreciate you saying that because that actually so something that like kind of inspired me even wanting to like get into the podcast and like get into making content and all that is when I had my daughter, I decided to go down the path of like, and it wasn't like a clear I think decision at the time of like making it. Like there was no like, okay, I see this path, I'm gonna go down this path. But like there was a point where I decided to start focusing on myself a lot more than I had. My diet, my fitness, like the way that I structured my day. And I started noticing that like, okay, as I'm going down this path, I could see the clear like difference and like the distance between other people who are in similar shoes who like weren't focusing on their self, and really taking care of who they are and what they're doing throughout the day. And the more and more I look at it, like there are a lot of people who use their kids as an excuse to kind of become like, it's harsh sounding, but like mediocre humans.
Mhm.
And that's not what I want. So that's like why I want to start like talking to more people like you, because like it takes it takes real intention to create significance. And when you have kids, you have like an ultimate excuse to like kind of put that stuff to the side and like, I can't do that because I have kids, or I can't focus on my diet. I can't get exercise because I
Mhm.
have kids. And there's just like that's an excuse. And like if you really wanted to be like a significant human, you wanted to create something real, and like bring value into the world and into your family and all that, like you can do it, but you need to put the effort forward. And so I want to encourage more people to stop using
Yep.
that as an excuse.
That drives me crazy
Yeah.
when people, like, I see people I know or just in my life do that. Because look at people all over the world that have way less than us and they might have 5 kids
Yeah.
and no money for food and they get so much done. So we have all these liberties and opportunities here where we live, so which is beautiful, and a blessing. So we have no excuses
Yeah.
why we can't do that. And for me, it's that's what I'm gonna be showing my daughter if I'm telling her it's okay to, say this because use something as an excuse. I'm gonna show her firsthand, like we're getting anything done.
Yeah.
Like it's only on no one's gonna come and save us. It's only on us.
Yeah.
So like your kids are gonna take that in if that's the behavior or like habits you're showing them. So for me, that's not an option
Yeah.
to, show my daughter that
Yeah.
she won't be doing that.
Yeah. That goes back to like the bubble that you were mentioning earlier. Like you can create a bubble within your household. So if your kids are only seeing certain things, if your kids are
Hmm.
only eating certain things, if they're not seeing like you having to go through hard stuff or having to be disciplined or something like that, what are they going to turn into? They're going to, turn into that example that you've set. So that's why we've created for multiple reasons, but my wife and I built a gym at the house.
I
And
seen
like,
that.
I
Yeah,
want my daughter to see me, out there huffing and puffing and like just kind
yeah.
of pushing through. Cause I want to set you know, that standard from a young age. Like
Hmm.
when we're going to voluntarily put ourselves through hard things
Yep.
so that when we come across, our backs against the wall, like we're not afraid of it. So. Well,
That's
Matan, man,
awesome.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you,
I,
man. It's an
uh,
honor for coming,
I,
being invited out here.
absolutely, dude. I commend you for, you know, doing everything that you're doing while also, trying to be the best for your daughter. Not every dad is doing that. Not every dad is trying to be the best father, because of whatever excuse they want to put out there. So, I really appreciate you. You giving back to the community. You've shown an example of what a dad can do in business. And then just kind of showing that you know you're there for your daughter and you're out trying to be just set a good example. So
I
you're a good
appreciate
man,
the
man.
words, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, I earned the girl dad
I'll
hat.
have to get you one.